Hey y'all, hey, raw to the bone. I just wanted to jump on here tonight and tell a story. But I did decide that I was going to leave the deeper stories for after this pandemic. I think enough of us have things on our minds other than, hearing more sad stories. So I'm just gonna jump on here and check on my friends and check on everybody's mental state. Because I know every now and again my anxieties go up and down. But I will tell one funny story. Everybody needs a little laugh, so why not? But before I start, my face, right? So, everybody know we're in isolation. I go get a facial once a month, a massage, but none of that is going to be happening. So, because I can't do that, I have to do it myself. So I have all this contraption on my face. I have the eye patches, the gold face mask. We got to do what we got to do. I'm all right with that. So I'm gonna keep my glasses off because I'm not reading anything. I don't have to read any comments like when I go live on Facebook or read any comments on IG. I'm just talking. So anyway, I did just start my YouTube page just a couple of weeks ago. Even though if you look at the history of my page, I've had YouTube for a while, but I didn't have a YouTube channel, any content on it until about 2 weeks ago. And the purpose of my channel is to story tell, self-healing, share my own personal stories. Other people will submit stories to me that I will be sharing on here on their behalf. Some will be anonymous. Some will allow me to tell who the author is. But for every story that's my story, I will tell you that is my story. Okay? So anyway, tonight I'm just having a little sippy. It's Tuesday, it's a little early, but again with this pandemic thing, it is 6:23 p.m. So I did wait until after 5 o'clock. I did do that. So I'm just gonna shout at Alexa real quick. Alexa, lower. All right, I just wanna make sure. I'm just playing instrumental, so I know YouTube, one time I told a story on here, the toilet paper story. I have a story on my channel called The Neighbor Meets My Toilet Paper. And when you go, if you go on and you listen to that story, I muted out about 30 seconds to a minute, somewhere within there. And it was because of copyright infringement on one of the songs that was playing in the background. So I'm learning. Okay, I've just been doing this for 2 weeks. So normally in the mornings I do coffee with friends at 8 a.m. and I just do random conversations, random topics. Today I talked about how often do you bathe during this pandemic? Because I just want to know what people are doing in their house. So that was a funny topic this morning. But today, and then in that topic, I also started to tell a story in one of my morning coffee with friends. I started to tell a story about how I got busted sitting on his lap, but I was single. I know. How could I get busted if I'm single? That don't even make sense. Is this thing falling down? I think this thing, look at this mess here. This don't make no sense. Listen, we're gonna make it through here. I'll probably have to rip these off in the middle of the story. So, I was living in my own apartment. What the? Wait, y'all. Listen, this is what happens during the pandemic. Okay, I think we got it now. So I was living in my own apartment, okay, and in New Jersey. Don't need to be specific as to where. And I had just recently had a breakup. Okay, it was one of the times I packed up my stuff and moved out of my house. And so at that time I was open to dating people or whatever. I said this a funny story. It's not anything deep. Busted but single. So I'm gonna explain how that happens. So I decided to go out on a date. Okay, I'm single. I go out on a date, but the person that I broke up with was blowing up my phone, blowing up my phone, blowing up my phone. And meanwhile, I forgot to mention that because I'm a scary dater when I date, you might not know my address, okay, for a very long time. I'll just be meeting you places. Or you might get my address if I met you through people I trust. Well, this particular person was invited to my house because I worked with them, and I trusted them, but I still had my girlfriend at the house. She was my son's girlfriend at the time. And so the rules were, you bring your ass over here and you sit and you chill while I go out on this date. Because if anything go down, you're going to help me get out of it. Good thing I planned it that way. Because had I been alone and got busted but single, I don't know what I'd have did. So anyway, I proceeded to go out on this date, and my girlfriend, my son's girlfriend at the time, who's also my friend to this day, stayed in my apartment, and me and the gentleman went to the movies. So, went to the movies, my phone was blowing up. Blowing up, blowing up, blowing up, blowing up, blowing up, blowing up, blowing up. I'm like, I don't owe this other person no explanation. I'm single. Okay. I had cooked dinner that day because it was a Sunday. So I had made some oxtail, some rice and peas, some vegetables, some other stuff. So I had expected the gentleman to come back to my house to have something to eat after the movies. And that's what we planned, and that's what we did. On my way back to the house, my girlfriend who's at my house is texting me, girl, your house phone is blowing up. I said, I know, because my cell phone is blowing up too. But I still didn't have anything to worry about. I figured I'd deal with it the next day or the next day after, because I'm single at that time. Okay. This was years ago. I'm married now. Okay. Never know when my husband might run through here, but these are old stories. This was years ago. Okay. Well, we're sitting down having something to eat in our kitchen. My girlfriend is in the living room sitting by the fireplace, and she's just watching TV, relaxing, talking, texting on her phone, or doing whatever she's doing. And so me and the gentleman is having a conversation, and after we eat, I proceeded to sit on his lap. But I'm single, so what's the big deal? I'm grown. So I sat on his lap. Okay? And we were talking. And the way my apartment was set up is like, you have my kitchen, but then if you looked, when I was sitting on his lap, if you look to my left, you can see my dining room, and then I had these big sliding glass doors, and I had these sheer curtains. And most people that came to visit me would pull up at these doors, okay? And just knock on the door, and I'll let them in. That was easier than them walking around the front of the building and ringing my apartment bell. So I was cool with that. But you can see right through my curtains, okay, from outside. But I'm single. Well, I heard tap, 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 and I'm like, who the hell is knocking on the door at this time of night? It was about 8 o'clock at night, or whatever the case may be. My heart must have fell out my, listen, because I knew phone was blowing up, all of this was happening. I knew the only knock that could possibly be was hell getting ready to happen. But here I am, single. Well, you know, sometimes motherfuckers, they don't get the message right. Okay, you communicate one thing to somebody, you have your whole apartment. I had a whole 1-year lease. I was paying my own bills. People don't listen. They don't understand. They don't understand English. I was single. So, I go to the glass door and peek out through the curtains, and I see this big dark shadow, tall. Mind you, the person I had in the house was also a big black shadow, right? So I was like, oh, hell no. I just immediately in my mind scanned my apartment and thought, uh-oh, the shit is getting ready to be popping and all your furniture getting ready to be busted. That's all I could think about. My furniture is getting ready to be busted. I'm not thinking about nothing else. Why though? If I'm single, why am I even thinking my furniture is going to be busted? Because people don't listen. They don't understand English. So I opened the door. Of course it was the gentleman I just broke up with not too long ago. I moved out of my house. I left him, got my own apartment, 1-year lease. I was single. I opened the door. He had a garment bag and an overnight bag. And I'm like, excuse me, where are you going? He said, I've been calling you. You ain't answering your phone. So I rolled up. And I was like, this is not a good time. Of course, he made mention that he saw me sitting on a gentleman's lap. And I tried to explain, real quick that I'm single. It just wasn't penetrating. It was like I was speaking some kind of language that was just not understood. Okay? So now here I got 2 men in the house trying to figure out who's staying and who's going. I told you my girlfriend was there, right? Don't forget about her ass. So where was she in the midst of all of this shit happening? Here, little old me in the middle of 2 black shadows. Where the freak was she in the midst of this shit? She's still in the living room. I couldn't see her because I'm in my dining room now, standing in between these 2 guys. One is asking me, am I good? And the other one is bumbleclot, ross-clotting me to death, right? So I'm trying to figure out how am I going to make it through this? And is my furniture gonna be busted? Okay? So I eventually, I don't know how, the grace of God, was able to get the bumbleclot, ross-clot one out through the back door where he came from. Okay, and then the other gentleman, who was innocent of all of this, by the way. Oh my God, I worked with the guy. I knew I had to go to work that Monday and look him in the face the next day. We ain't have work from home, so I couldn't even hide behind work from home. Nope, I had to go to work. That was embarrassing. Okay. So I asked him to leave too, because at that point, I was stressed. My anxieties was just off the roof. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck just happened? And I'm single. Like, this is how single life works? This is how the single people, this is what happens in the single world? Because I was stressed. Okay? The Bumba Ross-Clot one that left, he didn't really leave. He left out the glass door when I told him to leave, got in his car. His friend called me on the phone and asked what the F was going on. And I tried to explain to him. And I said, wait a minute, why am I doing all this explaining when I'm in my own apartment with my own lease? Like, why am I even explaining anything to anybody? I'm single. But I was still explaining. Well, Bubba Ross-Clot, all he was doing was driving around my parking lot, okay? Turned back around, came back, knocked on that glass door again. By this time, in between then, I was able to go in the living room, peek on my girlfriend. She's standing up by the fireplace, huddled up by the fireplace like this, real close. If I asked would have got any closer to that fireplace, the fire would have jumped on her ass and burnt her ass to a crisp. That's how scared her ass was. And she was smoking a cigarette. Okay? That's how scared her ass was. That's where she stayed through the whole thing. But I was glad she was there. I still didn't want to do that shit by myself. Okay? Because if it would have went down real ugly, at least she could have called 911. We would have had extra hands. Okay? So, listen. If she was scared, she needed to huddle up by that fireplace, whatever. I'm glad she was there. So the Bumba Ross-Clot came back because he didn't know how to say, just take go home or whatever. He came back. And he wanted me to explain who that person was. And meanwhile, I'm explaining that I'm single. At this time, I think he had left. I think she left because she was probably like, fuck this shit. And she was probably stressed. I probably gave her anxieties after that night. Okay? I probably did. But he came back. And let me tell you, I was steadily explaining, but I was single. And then I had to go to work that Monday. I get to work. Now this other gentleman, he was real cool or whatever the case may be. I get to work. I pass by his cubicle and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm not giving no names on here because, you know, people got lives now, right? Some people, some people are gonna know this is their story based on the fact if they follow me. All right, but none of these people that I'm talking about in this story follow me. So they, unless somebody tells them, and it's not gonna matter, I'm just not mentioning their names. But if they hear about it, oh well, it's true, right? Just not mentioning names. But I had to go to work, and I said hello, and all he did was smile. And he was like, why would you even, no, all he did was smile at first. After like a few awkward seconds, okay? He said to me, why would you put me in an awkward situation like that? And I felt like shit. Because I'm like, I felt like I didn't really do that. But it did happen on my watch. And it was some drama associated with my life. So I felt like shit over that. Because, I mean, that was really messed up. That could have been a fight. Somebody could have got hurt over nonsense. And I was single, though. So it was like I was so confused as to why I felt like I needed to explain and why I felt like I was in trouble and why I felt all of these feelings when I was single. But I was so damn single that a couple of weeks later, okay, the Bumba Ross Clock person came back to my house with a U-Haul truck and moved all my shit out of my apartment and moved my ass back into my house. Okay? But those are other stories. Okay? Now, if you listen to my other stories, you'll know that I moved out of my house about 4 times. And just about every time, I was moved back in. But that was a light story for tonight. That was just a little key. But that shit wasn't a key when it happened. Believe me. I was scared as fuck. All right? But let me tell you, I got some good friends because the friend that was there that night, she's still my friend. Okay? And every time she hears this story, when we laugh about it and we joke about it, it's still funny to us to this day. But that night, baby, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. But anyway, I think I've tried to keep my facial on for about 20 minutes. Right? That was the plan tonight. And plus I gotta cook. Because I got a greedy ass husband. So, and the time now is about 8. Yep, greedy. The time now is about 18:52. So I'm close to my 20 minutes. Okay? Oh, look. See what I'm saying? Greedy.
Whoa. Damn, fine.
Oh, my God. See, listen. All right? This is
Y'all
what...
okay, girls? Y'all okay, world?
What about the guys? What's up, guys?
These guys?
Yeah, the
what
guys,
Ooh,
too.
yeah.
Oh,
damn.
my God. All right, that's enough.
All right.
That's enough.
God.
Calm down. All right. He'll get all excited. But anyway. Please follow and subscribe.
Ladies, you good?
You know what? He's still going.
Fellas, you all right?
Listen. Guys, this is Raw to the Bone, okay? Please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share. I will have many more stories. Not only stories, but funny moments, thought-provoking things, I don't know, demonstrations, whatever. But you're going to get it as raw as I could give it. I'm going to just tell you the truth, however it comes out. But I'm gonna leave my heavy stories for later because this pandemic is heavy enough, and I'm not trying to bring no sad stories. So what I'm gonna be bringing is funny stories. The next story might be about the boyfriend who got beat up in the movie theater. I don't know yet, but it'll be something. Okay. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also follow me on IG. Okay. Sometimes I just post random videos on IG. Raw to the bone. Peace. Wait, before I say peace, I want to say, make sure you're social distancing. Yes, I have to give you the pandemic speech at the end of my videos because it's the right thing to do. Because today I had a conversation with one of my friends, and they told me that their friend's husband has the coronavirus, and they're in the house with all these other people, and the rest of them did not go to the testing center to get tested. So they don't even know how he got it initially. But make sure you're doing your social distancing. Make sure you're doing your part. That's the thing. Okay? And in the meantime, and in between time, excuse me.
Damn.
Meantime, in between time, gone for now, but not gone forever. Raw to the bone.